Hello everybody, my name is Junkie, and due to time constraints today, we're going to have to split this video into 3 different parts. Part 1 would be the first half of Devastator, Part 2 will be the second half of Devastator, and of course Part 3 will just be everything, or will just be the combined mode. Anyways, no more chit chat, let's just get into the video. Hello everybody, today I have another review video for you all. Hooray! This is only a part 1 of 3 review videos I'm going to make. Like I said, they're a bit due to time constraints. I will have to split it into 3 parts. The first half will be the first half, or the first part will be first half of Devastator. Next part will be the second half of Devastator, and then the third part will be the combined mode altogether. So the first half of Devastator is going to consist of Scrapper, Long Haul, and Mixmaster. And I would also like to say that I'm not going over the accessories until part 3 because they're not really accessories. They're more so, they're all meant for Devastator, but they double as accessories. But I'm not going to talk about them until part 3. Alright, so I want to talk about the figures from least favorite to most favorite. Now, my least favorite out of the 3 here I'm reviewing has to be Long Haul. Although his alt mode doesn't look that bad, or his robot mode doesn't look that bad, it's really bulky, and I don't know, his knees here, they're big ratchet knees, and they don't click in at full. So, the reason why I don't like his knees is because not only are they bulky, and with the amount of bulk on him, his knees are kind of pointless. And also, when in Devastator mode, so this is like his waist. So the knee would go here and it would bend, but also sometimes when you're trying to bend the leg straight, this happens. Like, it is a solid ratchet, but when you put the legs on it, they're not really that solid. So I would have rathered him not have any knees, since most of the figures kind of have pretty bad articulation. An example of bad articulation would have to be his arms. They can't really go out. They can swivel like this around. They can't go out, and they can't do much. And also, he has no elbow articulation. This will be a consistent problem through most of the characters. Also, by the way, if you have noticed, my copy of Devastator is in pretty rough shape. Not only are some parts of it broken, like right there, right here is broken. That's supposed to be a clip. But also, I left my Devastator figure in my closet and did not realize that there was a leak in the ceiling in our closet. And it just leaked there's gunk all over him. So, I'm pretty sure Long Haul has it the worst. Yeah, you can see it all over him. Which that is strange because he is the center of Devastator and it is like the most covered, so it doesn't really make sense that he's like the worst out of all of them. Anyways, like I was talking about earlier with articulation, to be honest, I don't really mind the fact that they all have pretty poor articulation because unlike the rest of the Combiner Wars where you have to buy them all separately, Combiner Wars Devastator comes all in one package. So when you buy one, you get all of them. Yeah, so, and also, Devastator is normally seen in Devastator form and not the separate Constructicons, which is normally why you'll hear me refer to them as Devastator, because it's more of a habit of me to say Devastator than Constructicons. And, like I was saying, the articulation being bad on all of them, I really don't mind, because the Devastator, as you'll see later, is actually not half bad. So for his vehicle mode, it's an alright vehicle mode. At first glance, it looks okay. I mean, you can tell it's a dump truck from most angles. Looking at it from the direct side, you kind of lose track of what's going on because it's so much going on, but yet so little going on. You can't really fit much in his dump load. You can actually fit all the accessories in, but I don't have them all currently. I only have the chest plate wing thing. But yeah, he really lives up to his name, long haul, being able to carry all the accessories in him. Um, it's not that bad, but you could also see all the gunk is really starting to show. I'm pretty sure he's the worst out of all of them, so you won't have to look at that the whole time. Yeah, the bottom, like, long haul was kind of just like a throw out one. Like he was probably the last one they made. He was like, all right, so we got all of them done, and we need one more. Long haul, you just need he just needs to be a waste piece. You just make him a brick that can split in half, and there you go. And then this is what happened. He's probably the worst figure out of all of them. Maybe second worst. I don't know. He's not the best, but again, without him, their Devastator wouldn't be able to hold up. Alright, so next up we got Mixmaster, and I feel like Mixmaster really shows the awkward proportions of this set. So, as you can see, he's got a really tall waist, really long biceps, I think, and really short triceps. Looks really weird, and also his lower legs are very, very bulky. And don't even get me started on that backpack. I don't want to look at it. Yeah, so I would have to say he's probably either one of the most awkwardly proportioned figures out of the set, if not the most awkwardly proportioned figure. It's from some angles it looks okay, but he's got very good articulation. He's got elbows. He's got out forward. His head can move. His good knees. Although when he bends, it just kind of makes his legs look gross. He's got ankle. He's even got a side ab crunch, but that's for combined mode. The articulation is great. The proportions are awful, and the overall look of the figure is kind of ever so slightly revolting, but it's okay. Again, the combined mode is really good, so I don't mind the ugly figures. Alright, so for his vehicle mode, and before I go on, I would just like to say that this is not the front. I've seen so many review videos and stuff where people put it like this and say that this is the front. It's not. This is the front. You can see the windshields and stuff. They did kind of make it look like this was the front with the smokestacks and the what appears to be windshield, but no, those are like grills and stuff. This is like what more modern cement trucks look like, with the load in the front and looking like this. I kind of wish they did make it look like this. This was the front, because that's what Mixmaster is iconically known as, with the cab becoming the toe of the combined mode. But I think they did kind of try and make it look like the front of the truck this way. But no, this is the front. And besides that, it's an okay alt mode. To be honest, I'd really wish that this was the front and not the back. And yeah, it's a good alt mode, but it's really not Mixmaster, so I'm moving on. And last, and probably the best figure out of the three I'm showing you, Scrapper. I'd also like to say that Scrapper is probably my second favorite out of the entire bunch, maybe even most favorite. But this is pretty much the exact same as Mixmaster, but done way, way better. The awkward proportions, while still barely visible, like his torso does seem a little long, and his thighs do seem a little too long for my liking. He's a lot better proportioned and a lot cleaner. His posability is okay for the most part, besides the fact that he doesn't have elbows. I've seen improved versions, like I think I've seen improved versions that do have better articulation, but besides the no elbows, this is like probably the best figure out of the entire bunch. So a lot like Mixmaster, Scrapper pretty much has very similar, if not the exact same, posability, besides the lack of elbows. It's just, it's done a lot better. Like, his knees are a lot more natural. He's got the same amount of ankle, but it just looks nicer. Um, his head moves around a lot better because Mixmaster has a thing over his head, and that's not a problem with that figure. That was how the original one was, and that's also how he was in the cartoon. Um, yeah, he's probably the most accurate figure out of all of them. Like this, you compare him next to the cartoon, it's spot on. Along with the other figures, all the other figures are pretty accurate. Besides the long haul, he's still pretty bulky. Yeah, he's also got the same weird ab tilt thing, but that's for combined mode and not uh, articulation. My only problem with this figure would have to be the backpack, but even then, it's not that bad. It doesn't really bother me. But besides the elbows and the large backpack, it's pretty much spot on. So Mixmaster's alt mode, well, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Like again, the figures are not really meant for being separate figures. They're obviously meant for combined mode. He looks a lot better in combined mode than here. He's not that bad. It's just that the awkward proportions kind of make it look not that good. The cab just seems a bit small. I kind of wish the cab was a bit bigger, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty accurate that this is what Mixmaster is, a front end loader. It's pretty much spot on. The most of the set is pretty accurate and pretty good. To be honest, besides the poor articulation and the kind of okay vehicle modes, it's actually a really good set. And although it is an older set because it's Combiner Wars, and Combiner Wars came out like quite a few years ago, I still suggest maybe if you could find this set for a cheap price, I suggest you pick it up. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I apologize for the kind of shortness of it. I'm kind of short on time, and I want to do other things, and so I split it into 3 parts. And if you want to see parts 2 and 3, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell. And also make sure to go check out my community tab, because I post there regularly as well. And until part 2, bye-bye.